Great fishing is not that far away. Welcome to Illinois Outdoors with Don DeGina.
How we doing, everyone? Don DeGina here for Illinois Outdoors. You know, we're up in Minneapolis, Minnesota right now. We're here for the Association of Great Lake Outdoor Riders annual conference. 59 conferences they've had so far. Next year will be the 60th. Pretty exciting. We're having a lot of fun. We're getting to meet a lot of great people, and we're getting a lot of great opportunities to get into the outdoors. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited. We've got a special guest with us today. Our guest today to be on Illinois Outdoors TV up here in Minnesota is Dave Genz. Dave is the godfather of ice fishing. I'll tell you what, when it comes to ice fishing and someone thinks ice fishing, somehow you always pop up.
Well, you know, I've been at it a long time. You know, my wife and I started that flip-over fish house, the fish trap. You know, started in the garage. You know, she sewed them on the home sewing machine, and you know, I cut them out of wood and drilled holes with a hand drill at the beginning. And you know, the first year she made 5, the second year she made 20, and the third year she sewed 80, and then she wouldn't sew anymore.
Well, behind every good man is a good woman. There's no doubt about that. You know. So what are we doing today? We're going to be going out with something. This is like really kind of unusual.
Well, kind of interesting. What my career in ice fishing has done is we took summer fishing and we put it to work for us on the ice. And now I'm doing this in reverse. I'm taking ice fishing and I'm putting it to work for me in the summer. And I created this boat here that has actually holes cut in the floor, 8-inch holes cut right through the floor of the boat. And we're going to go out and use our electronics, our winter electronics, and you know, catch some fish with our ice rods. And we're going to simulate ice fishing because you know, we've gained a lot of knowledge over the years of using this stuff ice fishing, and now we're going to use it in the summer.
So actually, right here, where this gizmo is here, that's where we're going to be fishing through.
Correct. We're going to fish right through this hole that's in the bottom of the boat. Go right.
All right. Now, what's the purpose of all this?
Well, this is to plug the hole so when we're motoring, the water is not squirting up in our face. So we're
That's a good thing because it's a little bit chilly out today, and a little bit breezy, and I think that could be an issue.
You know, and it's a 2-holer. We got one up in the front too, so we'll both have one, and we'll both get to use some of these new ice fishing products that I've been testing throughout the summer.
So once we get out on the water, you'll probably throw out a couple of anchors to put us in one spot and keep us there, and then you'll drop the
transducer here right in the hole, wrap the cord in the gripper so it goes down just a short distance, turn the screen on, it'll show us the bottom of the fish, and when we lower our jig down.
This is going to be just like sitting on the ice, but it's during summertime.
And you know, them jigging techniques that we've developed in the wintertime to trigger them fish, we get to use them in the wintertime. Throughout the summer, every time we set up on a weed line there, you know, July and August here, the people fishing through the holes outfish the people that were fishing with the rods and reels.
You know, hey, I'll tell you what, let's get the boat in the water and let's catch a few fish.
Go do some catching.
All right.
Okay.
Muskie, fish for walleye, bass, and panfish on 194 Crystal Clear Lake. Visit boulderjct.org for details. Start planning your Boulder Junction fishing trip today.
If you're into the outdoors, the Heritage Quarter is your close-to-home destination for all sorts of great outdoor activities. Did you know that the Illinois River offers great striper and sauger fishing? The Heritage Quarter also boasts excellent deer, turkey, and waterfowl hunting. Superior lodging and dining is available at the Starved Rock Lodge, right at the doorstep of hiking trails, the woods, and water. Learn more of what the Heritage Quarter has to offer in the outdoors by visiting their website at www.heritagequartercvb.com. Plan your next outdoor adventure in the Heritage Quarter in Illinois, mile after magnificent mile.
Kentucky State Parks. In Kentucky's western waterland, 200,000 acres of water, 3,000 miles of shoreline. Real big fun. Whether it's baiting a hook or making a hook shot, you're sure to hit the sweet spot. At Kentucky State Parks, visit us online to plan your next trip.
There we go, got another one. There we go, Rod. Look at this guy, look at this guy. Oh, Dave, I'll tell you what, I like these rods.
You know, they're 6-foot rods built in miniature.
Look at that.
They've got all the right,
There's another one.
right
Got
bend.
him right at the edge there. Nice little bluegill. Great fishing is not that far away.
No, you have to realize that we're in the metro area. You know, there's lots of people that live all around the lake and in the area, and we're still able to catch a few decent fish. Oop, I missed them.
This is really neat.
Seems like a pretty nice bluegill. Good fight. There we go. Look at that. That's a beautiful metro bluegill there. And he's got that all that bait in his mouth. Look at that. That's a nice fish anywhere. You know, bigger than my hand. And here's different. We're gonna throw him back down the hole. Oh, I was a little bit too quick with that. Well, I'm trying a little plastic here is what I'm fishing with. A little jig with a small piece of plastic on it. Kind of one of our new jigs called a caviar jig. Got a bunch of little bumps on it. You know, it's kind of like a disco ball. It looks like when it's glowing down there. Something new at Clam that we're introducing this year. And you've got my other new jig on, the drop kick jig. which you can see how nice a line it shows up on that sonar.
Oh yeah, sure does. Sure does.
Well, I see you still got some down there. Kind of left here right now.
Nope, had to hit the miss. This is really kind of neat.
Probably never thought you'd want to ice fish in the summertime, but it works. It's a pretty nice bluegill.
Boy. Look at that guy. Tell you what, I'll show you what I got him on too. This is that caviar jig. Really kind of neat.
Well, we're using a little plastic out here today. We're using this lure called a Jamie from Mackey Plastic. It's really a nice soft plastic. You can see it here in my hand, what it looks like. And so many times people want to put the plastic on and they want to slide it all the way around the hook like you're putting a twister tail on in the summer. But even though we're out here in the summer, we're pretending we're ice fishing. So here's a little trick. You start the plastic right in the end there, and you just go in just a little ways and then bring it out and keep that plastic in an upright position. And you'll see the unique action that has. And it's been much more effective for me than to slide it all the way around onto the hook. So there's a lot of different shapes and sizes of plastic, but try just putting it on a little bit and sticking it straight up on a horizontal jig like this one.
Okay, now you can be able to see my jig dropping down in the water. See, down, 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 down. Look at that fish coming right up to it. Just jump.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna drop this right down there. I've got plenty of fish down there on the dial here right now, so we're gonna drop it down to these fish. And I'm gonna come right up, and oh, I missed them. You know, I'm gonna have to focus a little bit harder. Getting the chasers coming up.
That's really neat. You can tell, you can hear from the airplanes that are flying overhead that we're really not too far from the Minneapolis airport, and we're right in the heart of Minnesota Northwest. That looks like a fish, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is and look what that produced. I mean, that's a nice bluegill anywhere. I've driven hundreds of miles to get up to North Country to catch fish this size, and here we're doing it right in the metro area using winter fishing methods, but it's summertime out here. And you know, there's nobody else out here in the lake. I was out here earlier and fishing with a bobber and a regular rod, not catching much. But when I switched to my ice fishing tackles in open water, especially with my Holey boat here with 8-inch holes drilled right through the floor, so we can practice ice fishing throughout the year. You know, ice fishermen have, over the years, have developed a lot of knowledge on how to trigger these fish. And now with this boat here, I'm taking that winter knowledge and putting it to work in the summertime, and it's really, really working well.
Well, Dave, let me ask you this. The spot that we're at, could you kind of describe the depth and what's nearby us? I mean, we're not along shore anywhere.
No, this is you know, fall is the end of September, and a lot of the weeds have fallen down and are dying off. So we're out on an underwater hump. It's just surrounded by, you know, 20 feet on one side and 30 some on the other side, and we're on top of this hump, which tops out at about 12 feet. And that's a great time, part of the lake to fish at this time of the year, is out on these underwater humps. And you know, the fish are just up on top of it, feeding off of the bottom, you know, creatures that are living down on the bottom. So, you know, look at that one. I mean, that is you know, almost they call it a trophy.
That's a big one. Ooh. There, what do you think, huh?
Nice one, right?
That's a sweet fish. Oh, this is fun stuff, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm going to use a little different piece of plastic here. Just it's called a spiky is what it's called. And I'm going to put that onto a vertical jig this time. But I'm going to make the plastic hang horizontal. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to hook it through the end, slide it around the hook all the way to the back side here. You know, so I've slid the plastic all the way around. Now I'm going to turn the hook and run it through the plastic again. So I get it straight across here. See how how straight that is then? So when I put this in the water, it's going to hang perfectly straight out the back. It's got a little sag in here, but it's in the water, it'll be straight like that. And that can, you know, imitating the bloodworms that are in the water down there that these fish feed on off the bottom. And since these fish are close to the bottom, I'm guessing that they will grab that thing. Well, you notice I've got a spring bobber tied on this time. Not my favorite style. I like a more rapid cadence, and but a spring bobber is definitely another method as a bite indicator. You know, you're not fishing by feel now, you're fishing by sight. You got to keep watching that bobber and move that bait up and down, and you know, keep an eye on it and see what's going on. But you know, it seems like they want that little faster pace. They don't seem to be rushing up here and hitting that thing like I think they should. Is that color gets to be much more important than when you're using live bait. You know, sometimes fresh live bait can outride the right color. You know, you need to get them to be, you know, like fighting over it so they come rushing up for it. You know, and these fish come up and look at it, you know, so, you know, knowing that if I don't catch this one here, we're going to bring it up anyway, and we're going to try a different piece of plastic, different color plastic.
You know, Dave wants to change the bait on his rod there and get something a little bit different, some different colored plastics and stuff. And then on top of that, he wants to move to the other side of this hump. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with more fishing on Illinois Outdoors TV with Dave Genz out here in Minnesota Northwest. We're just outside of Minneapolis. I tell you what, we're fishing a lake. We're catching bluegills like crazy. This is a lot of fun. Stay right there. We've got more fishing coming right up.
The Niagara Falls area is America's best kept secret when it comes to the outdoors. Fishing, boating, kayaking, and more are all there for the outdoors enthusiast. Enjoy trophy fishing on the Niagara River, Lake Ontario, and Lake Erie. There are many sights to see and so much to do in the outdoors, and we're here to help you plan your next vacation. Visit NiagaraUSA.com or give us a call at 1-877-FALLS-US. The Niagara, New York area, your next American outdoors adventure destination.
For all seasons, Wildcat Lodge offers you an unequaled vacation experience with a variety of plans and options, including seasonal specials to fit your vacation desires. Enjoy tennis, swimming beach, horseshoes, basketball, nature trails, playground, and much more. Located 4 miles north of Boulder Junction, Wisconsin, on our 3 connected lakes. These are Class A musky waters with walleye, bass, crappies, and panfish. Come up, relax, enjoy, and make Wildcat Lodge a vacation memory you'll always remember.
Well, welcome back to Illinois Outdoors. We just dropped anchor in a spot, and oh my gosh, Dave, I think you picked the wrong end of the lake.
Yeah, well, I didn't do a good job of moving it. I wanted to get deeper, and I ended up
That's the only way to make it look bigger, is to get it right up into the camera there. Yeah, it's a little guy, but it's all right. It was still fun. I still got my bait on here. We'll try to get it. We're in about 9 foot of water right now, maybe close to 10. And there are some fish down here. We see them moving up towards the baits. And I'm thinking that all we got to do is wait until we get the right size fish, and we'll be all right. But this is really kind of a neat, fun thing. I'm still using a jig that has some wax worms on it, and Dave has something that's a little bit different.
But my move, I wanted to go a little bit deeper, and I ended up shallower. I'm afraid these fish might be smaller. We might have to move again, but that's easy with these electric anchors. Okay, so when I change to a purple piece of plastic,
and Dave, I don't know. This is a fair side. This is fair side bluegill right here. Fair size fish, but still not as big as the ones that we got earlier. Nice fish. I don't know why. Dave has thrown them into the hole in the bottom of the boat. I figure I got the whole lake off the side of the boat, and it's a lot easier to hit that than that 8-inch hole. Drop her down again. This is such a different way of fishing that I honestly feel that when people see this television show, they're going to go, holy smokes, what a way to catch fish. You know, and they may be talking to some aluminum welder guys and see if they can take and do some changes, or pick up a second boat like Dave did. Dave's got a big river boat that's really kind of neat. It's a jet boat. I fished out of it a couple of years ago with him on Lake Taneycomo down in Branson.
and there's fish, and you can get them hooks that are too deep, pick it right out of there.
That's pretty neat.
Just a little, on the end, you can kind of slide it down the hook, and you push down on it. It's got a little keeper on it here, so I could clip it onto my. In the wintertime, I got it clipped onto my ice armor suit. I say I went back to that purple. You were catching that purple on that other lure too. You know, now I got this.
Oh man, that guy hit it hard, but he didn't take it.
Purple piece of plastic,
and Dave, I don't know. This is a fair side. This is fair side bluegill right here. Fair size fish, but still not as big as the ones that we got earlier.
You know, I just caught one on this lure here. It's called a dingle drop with a piece of purple plastic on it. But I'm going to try catching one with no bait on it. You see this little bead on the bottom here, just dangling here on the bottom? So I'm going to be jigging this thing this way, and you get that little bead jiggling down there. And a lot of times you can actually catch fish on this with no bait. So we'll see what happens here. Drop it down there. You know, you kind of got to be quick on the bites when they grab it, because they're not going to hang on to it long with no bait on it. There we go. Didn't take long at all to catch it with no bait whatsoever, just the dingle drop.
Well, what would you be using for crappies if you were out here?
Well, same thing, you know, the same bait. You know, we got some plastic, Mackie plastic called the Mackie minnow. That's been real effective for us fishing crappie. It looks like a little minnow, and because of the softness of the plastic, you get that tail to move on it. We could, but you know, a lot of times, crappie aren't necessarily feeding on minnows. They feed on zooplankton a lot, and bugs, and some of the same stuff the bluegills feed on. And if we wanted to catch some crappies, though, I would move off of this hump and into the deeper water. That's where I seem the crappies would be this time of the year. They're starting to suspend in their winter spots, over the deep water. That's what's great about going out this time of year, into September, October, even November, is you're looking for your winter spots. It's a lot easier to do it out here in the boat than it is drilling holes through the ice. So you go out and find them, and mark them on your GPS, or I use a lot of shore markings, the flag poles in front of the window, or the telephone poles in line with the edge of the house over there, and I can come right back to this spot in the winter. Well, it's time to get out of here. We got to plug these holes up before we go, though, so we don't sink the boat. We don't want water coming in while we're motoring. So that's simply what we got to do is, take the transducer out of the hole, put in this little holder there, grab the plug, shove it down into the hole, and there we go, ready to head out. Of course, we got to do it in your hole too, but it certainly is a fun time to practice your ice fishing in the summertime, and it's amazing how many fish you can catch.
I mean, the great fishing is not that far away. Until next time, I'm Don DeGina. Thanks for watching.